First things first, happy non-specific holidays to all, if you celebrate, and to all a happy new year. Hi, Ugly. It's me, and welcome back to Hot or Rats. And today, we are gathered here in memoriam and celebration of the passing of yet another season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and the end of my Out of Drag YouTube career. Say goodbye to the mustache again, because the Queen will return for the premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. Today though, we'll be breaking down the Canada's Drag Race Canada versus the World finale, and diving into the details of the Coronation Eleganza Extravaganza Runway, as well as the lip sync battle for the Crown Smackdown Royale. And then we'll be investigating the recent claims of contestant favoritism throughout the competition from Rajah Ohara, Vanity, Milan, and Icesis Couture. Finally, we'll end with an autopsy on the season itself, ending with my unqualified yet dignified opinions on what I thought went right, left, up, down, and wrong. So buckle up and brace yourself, because it's gonna be a bumpy ride. But first, ho 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 and merry Raidmas! From my favorite free-to-play MMORPG available on mobile and PC, Raid Shadow Legends. Use my QR code or links in the description of this video to start downloading Raid while I tell you more about the game and all the amazing free gifts you can get this holiday season. What I love most about the game is its beautifully designed dark fantasy world populated by nearly 700 champions from factions like High Elves, and these champions are endlessly customizable, like my Elhine, for example. She's an absolute beast in PvP fights, and her Ascended Lightning Arrow skill completely annihilates boss fights with tons of enemies. And Raid has something super exciting under the tree for all new players this Christmas season: the 12 days of Raid! Just use the links below to download Raid and copy your player ID into 12daysofraid.plarium.com. There you'll experience a chance to win amazing in-game and real-life prizes. And all existing Raid players will get an extra special holiday promo code you can redeem for a festive gift in-game. And Raid's just released a new legendary champion based off MMA and pro wrestling legend Ronda Rousey. Get Ronda for free by logging in and playing Raid for just 7 days between now and February 28th. Plus, use promo code RAIDRONDA to get a bunch of helpful stuff perfect for leveling up your Ronda champion. Wait, there's more! When new players download Raid using my link or QR code, they'll get a free starter pack with this in-game loot. And make sure to act quickly, because you'll find your rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days only. And once you're in, find me under the name Bussy Queen. Thanks Raid for sponsoring today's video. Now, shake the sugar and throw the spice at Brooklyn Heights. Wasn't that so funny when I said that? That was really funny. First up, the Coronation Eleganza Extravaganza Runway. Each of our contestants returned one last time to the runway to show off their eleganza. One last time. And while I give each of them flame ratings of various point values, which you can see here assigned on the screen, I absolutely have to call out my favorite 3 looks from this runway, which were from Icesis Couture celebrating her inner demons in this spooky, scary, yet beautifully made black feather gown. Victoria Scone here embracing the camp of being British, doing a Coronation Eleganza runway, and also entering the finale and hoping to receive a crown. Girl to triple meanings, she really hit this brief on the head here. And finally, Stephanie Prince in a traditional Filipina gorgeous white gown with a beautiful headpiece to complete the look. And I also want to give an honorable mention for my favorite looks of this evening to Silky's yellow gown, complete with hair as high as the heavens themselves. Now onto our battle royale, and for this Smackdown there was not a wheel, that is most certainly and definitely not rigged behind the scenes, but boxes held by each of the judges which contained the song to be lip synced by the queen that chose the box. The first queen that got to choose a box was Rita Baga for winning last week's episode, followed by Victoria Scone, which ultimately decided the order of our lip syncs today. And as the twisted threads of fate would have it, we have Victoria Scone versus Rajah Ohara lip syncing to Do It, a song by Nelly Furtado featuring Missy Elliott. And my observations here are that I very much enjoyed both of these queens' performances to this song. I would say though that Victoria for me started off a little bit stronger, and she was very consistent throughout the entire lip sync, giving those campy dance moves like, I guess, would the kids call that the lawnmower? Whatever that is. And her energy was just like at 100 the entire time. But I don't think what she did was totally different from what we have seen Victoria do in previous lip syncs throughout this season, whereas Rajah felt a little more special here. She started off a little slower, making sure the judges and we as the audience members knew that she knew every single word. And what really solidified her win for me me here as the better lip syncer in this song was that she saved all these really special dance moves for the end of the track. She finished with a bang. Both queens get a hot from me, but Rajah very obviously won this lip sync. I will say though, this lip sync felt a little unrewarding as a pairing overall because there was no storytelling tension between these two to come into the lip sync with. It really felt like, wow, I love these two queens. Either one could win and I would be happy with either one winning, but there's no payoff in them having like this fight. Contrast that, for example, with the lip sync between Rita Baga and Silky Nutmeg Ganache. These two had a little storytelling element, a little bit of drama that was sprinkled into the lip sync between the two queens of food. I'm talking about their alliance, of course. If there ever even was an alliance. It did seem more like Rita just didn't send Silky home last episode because Vanity had been in the bottom 2 weeks in a row, and not so much because she had agreed in the past to save Silky. Anywho, these two lip synced to Broken Bones by Love Inc. And girl, I'm not even gonna play any games here. Silky Nutmeg Ganache won this lip sync from like second 0 of this song. Rita Baga started off the lip sync in the very back of the stage, which I'll say, as a Drag Race connoisseur, is not my favorite way for a queen to start off a lip sync because it brings their energy to the very back. You just don't get that same level of TV, camera, stage presence that you get when you're sitting at the front of the stage closer to the camera and closer to the judges, like Silky did for the first half of this lip sync. But it wasn't just starting off in the back that I think kind of killed Rita's momentum here in this lip sync. It was also that her performance was a little uninspired when compared to Silky's. Like, Rita did good, but Silky did amazing. And it's Silky. She is the lip sync guru. She wrote the book on how to win a modern Drag Race lip sync. You gotta have the tricks, the goops, the gags, the applique sunglasses that you pull out for the end of the song. Because why? Well, Hilary Duff once asked why not. Think about it. And Rita's little dress was coming off and revealing something that I don't think she quite intended to reveal. The hosiery of it all. Fortune was not in her favor tonight. Silky takes the win, and yeah, I would give Rita a warming up for this performance and Silky an absolute hot. And for our final lip sync tonight, we have Rajah Ohara and Silky Nutmeg Ganache, and oh my god, do they both look so beautiful coming onto this stage. Silky absolutely saved that red dress for the correct moment. The hair with the 3 hoops for her third lip sync. Wow, they both look so damn gorgeous. And they lip sync to Celine Dion, River Deep, Mountain High, Peanut Butter Jar Full. Thank you, Milk, for forever plaguing my brain with thoughts of that peanut butter performance anytime I see Celine Dion's name. Side note, I absolutely love the confidence of Silky bringing this #1 point to the sky to both of her Victoria lip syncs, but not the Rita lip sync. She was like, I don't need to point towards nothing. But she does here bring it to the lip sync with Rajah, and they both did so amazing in this lip sync. I have like 0 critiques for both of them. They both had some really great outfit deconstruction or reveal moments that amplify the drama of the song, and what really brought it home for Rajah, for me in this lip sync, was again her restraint. She held back in the beginning of the song, allowing Silky to have a little bit of her moment in the build-up, and then Rajah came in a swingin' in the breakdown of the song with her extra special dance moves. She is the queen of finishing strong and now the queen of the world. So congratulations to Rajah. I absolutely agree with the outcomes of all of these lip syncs, and that is actually quite surprising for me to say considering what had happened on the previous lip sync battle royale smackdowns for the crowns. There's usually a little bit of riggery and drama and fuckery afoot. The fury of it all. But yeah, that was the runway, that was Lip Sync Smackdown, and I will circle back on my final thoughts for the season after we do a little investigation into the alleged favoritism of the season. So at one of the recent Roscoe's viewing parties where Rajah and Vanity Milan joined Naysha and the crew there, Naysha asked Rajah, did you feel like there was any favoritism in the season? Rajah then answers saying this.
So did you guys see anything or feel anything like where there was any favoritism towards anyone?
I don't want to say that they were playing favoritism, but there was a little bit of some favoritism.
Like a push?
Happening in the room. One time I actually had to speak out about it. It made me feel really uncomfortable. I can't get into all of the details, but I wouldn't say that it was favoritism for anybody on this stage.
And note how she seems to answer there, that she believes there was a bit of favoritism, but not for herself or Vanity. And then in a later part of this viewing party, Vanity Milan says this.
See, I understood it was a TV show, and I was here for me and me only. My redemption from season 3 into Canada versus the World was what's more important to me, and showing the world that I had something to prove. We see favoritism, and I have to push past that because, again, I'm here for myself, I'm here for the crown, and I'm here for that 100,000K.
Which we will also put a little pin in for now. And then the host, Rajah and Vanity, bring up what Icesis had said at the previous viewing party where she was there. You remember Icesis called out production for trying to push certain narratives in the show and trying to keep the crown in Canada.
Yeah, she said it was definitely for Canada, for them trying to keep the title in Canada and whatnot.
Talking with production and blah, 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 blah. It's like, we really need you to do this, like help us keep the title in Canada and so on and so forth.
And so I thought with these three putting their thoughts and feelings out there about there being favoritism towards a certain queen who was not on that stage and was apparently Canadian, we could do a little investigation to try and figure out whomst it might be, and when and where that favoritism occurred. So let's use the process of elimination to do that. So of our 4 Canadian cast members in this season, first up we've got Kendall and Stephanie, both of whom were out in the first 2 weeks of the competition, of which Stephanie was in the bottom for both episodes. And with these 2 Canadian queens being out so early, I don't think it would be likely any of our 3 queens in question today alleging and discussing this favoritism would be talking about them. Although yes, Ices's comments from the previous Roscoes could be interpreted in such a way that production might have asked Icesis to keep Stephanie and eliminate Anita Wigl'it on episode 2. But I would say if the producers truly wanted to keep the crown in Canada and keep Stephanie as one of those potentials, they probably wouldn't have put her in the bottom 2 weeks in a row the first 2 weeks of the competition. So did Rajah, Vanity, or Icesis perceive favoritism for these 2 particular queens? I would say not likely. Which leaves 2 Canadian queens, Icesis Couture and Rita Baga. And based on Ices's track record from the 3 episodes she was in, where she has 2 safe placements and 1 win, I don't think any queen would look at what happened there and call that favoritism. Her Snatch Game win was absolutely 100% deserved, and if anything, she probably should have had a top 2 placement in the ball episode as well, but she didn't get that. Plus, I also don't think that she would say production was showing favoritism towards her own self, when they obviously weren't. So the alleged favoritism towards Icesis is not likely, which leaves just 1 Canadian queen on our whodunit board. Or I should say who received it board. The who received it board. Make sure to take your prep. Woo! Rita Baga. And again, please do not take any of this as fact. I'm just speculating here based on what the queens were saying at Roscoe's. We're just having a little bit of fun and speculating. Following this line of thinking, if Rita was the queen indeed who the other queens are saying was overly favored by production, then where did that favoritism occur? Because just based on track record, it doesn't seem like she was overly favored. I mean, she had 1 bottom placement and 2 top 2 placements, one of which was a win, but it was a track record identical to Silky's and only slightly better than Rajah's. So let's continue to look for that favoritism, of which there are only 3 episodes to consider if all 3 of our queens who are talking about this are indeed talking about the same unfairly favored person. Because if they are, well, Icesis was out after episode 3, and so there would be no favoritism to perceive or not perceive on her end for episodes 4, 5, and 6. Which leaves us with episodes 1 and 2 to consider, where Rita Baga had a top 2 placement and a safe placement. Since, you know, being put in the bottom for episode 3, I don't think could be considered favoritism. It's not likely that any of the queens were perceiving favoritism for episode 2. Rita Baga's performance in Snatch Game was pretty good, and I think very deserving of a safe placement. And I guess this shared experience amongst these 3 queens of perceiving a Canadian queen as having been unfairly favored in the competition came from episode 1, where Rita Baga got a top 2 placement. And yes, even without using the powers of deduction and process of elimination to arrive at this speculative conclusion, I do recall episode 1's top 2 placements feeling very off. The girl group challenge very much felt like complete domination by Team Serve, made up of Silky, Rajah, and Vanity. Yet Rita, almost out of nowhere, was given this top placement. And this also fits in with what Vanity had said about pushing past favoritism to ultimately redeem her UK3 appearance, because, you know, she beat Rita in that lip sync. And the timing of this also would have allowed Rajah to speak up to production, as she said she did, and allow there to be time for things to change in the judging and favoritism in the competition. But that's just a theory. A drag theory! As to why, though, there would be potential favoritism for Rita Baga in this competition, I think the reasons are easy to deduce. She's already announced as one of the judges / hosts of Drag Race Belgium, and her making it to the finale, I would argue, is pretty damn important to build up her credibility to host a new international spinoff. Plus, her making it to the finale or potentially winning the crown also is great self-promotion for the Drag Race franchise as a whole. Keeps that Drag Race Belgium thing up in the forefront, along with the other 500 international spinoffs that we're all watching. 2 truths and a lie. You don't get the 2 truths, you just get the lie here. But again, I think this is all very interesting to hear from these contestants, Rajah, Vanity, and Icesis, because from a viewer's perspective, we didn't really get this narrative of Rita Baga favoritism. And I guess this was something ultimately hidden by the storytelling of the edit and post-production because of Rajah's speaking up. Which is a great segue into my final thoughts on Canada's Drag Race Canada versus the world. I think this season overall felt fairly judged and was enjoyable. Plus, we as fans got some pretty satisfying story arcs from at least our top 5 finalists. London, Paris, Tokyo, Vanity, Milan 100% redeemed the reserved and quieter performance that she gave on UK Season 3, both in her more boisterous personality this time around and the phenomenal runways that she presented every single week. And it was nice to see a queen like Rita, who from the outset of Canada's Drag Race Season 1 defined herself as an alien outsider to other queens and really the art of drag, come around in the finale and talk about how she finally feels more accepted by her peers and like she has sisters for life. Plus, she definitely redeemed her runways, including her thirsty wigs, a comment from Jimbo that she brought from all those years ago into this season and made sure that she delivered some hydrated units. And we also had Silky come back to Drag Race for a 3rd time and demonstrate her perseverance and capability and ability to enter another finale. She's acknowledged she wasn't the most well received by the fan base back on season 11, but All-Star 6 was a beautiful redemption moment for her. It was just cut short by her not making it very far initially, and this season felt like her moment to shine and show everyone that she was truly a different, renewed, and galvanized queen. We also got to see Victoria's Scone complete a season of Drag Race. Thank God, I have fallen in love with this queen. Every single episode, she shocked me, she wowed me, she awed me, and I'm so impressed with her unique, modern, campy take on drag that is fashionable, comedic, and boundary breaking. And I think it was great to see that her success on this season not only gave her the validation that she was seeking personally in her drag, but also inspired her peers and everyone watching. I really can't wait to see what she does with her newfound success. And wife, sorry, I would be so remiss to not mention that she literally proposed to her girlfriend on international television? Congratulations. And finally, of course, we got to see the Purple Queen ready for the green. Rajah Ohara really come onto this season fully developed. We went from season 11 baby queen to this beautiful performance on All-Star 6 where she said, I am in my growth moment, I have this determination, to now here where she took all that, owned it, and then even talked about how she learned that to get the crown she had to put it into words and manifest it. And I think the power of her words there that she has finally captured really shone throughout the entire competition. There's an authenticity and uniqueness to Rajah's drag that feels very genuine, happy, positive, and confident, and I think she's absolutely a deserving winner of this franchise. But there are 2 sides to every coin. For as much as I loved the contestants on this season and enjoyed going on this journey with them, I will say I do have critiques for Canada versus the world. There wasn't a ton of drama, there was no shocking eliminations. Everything in this season just kind of flowed, ebbed a little bit, and flowed. I mean, hey, with the exception of Icesis literally leaving mid-season, that did shock and gag me. But at the same time, I never expected her to win. I saw her casting as a goopy gaggery moment done by production similar to how they cast Pangina on UK versus the World. Like, I truly do not believe that they ever intended to give her a second crown. However, I'd say all of the Canada-based Drag Race seasons have felt fairly bland in comparison to, like, let's say the drama-heavy fiasco that was season 1. Like, these Canada seasons are, across the board, I think an excellent showcase of Canadian drag talents, don't get me wrong, but they do generally lack that je ne sais quoi of drama. And hey, I don't think it's a bad thing that this season was really fair and enjoyable and calm and peaceful. It's a good thing. But maybe I would suggest the producers turn up the drama a little bit next season. I don't know, that's just thought from a fan, suggestion from a fan. Whee! I of course always love reading y'all's comments, so let me know what y'all thought about this season, the finale, the crowning, and the drama, or I should say lack thereof, in the comments below. I also want to say thank you so much to today's video sponsor, Raid, who's got tons of amazing holiday promotions and codes and downloads and gifts to give you when you download Raid using the link in the description of this video. I also want to remind you there are tons of amazing ways that you can support this channel. The link to purchase Bussy Queen merch is in the description of this video. And you can now join the channel as a member and get your name in the description of every single one of my videos, and join the House of Transport for other exclusive member benefits like flame icons next to your name when you leave a comment on my video. Plus, hey, you can always join my Patreon for tons of exclusive content, bonus videos, and access to the Bussy Queen Discord server. Links are in the description. And lastly, I want to say thank you so much to all of my patrons who have made my channel possible from day one. And I want to give a special shout out to Samuel Blabby and Joseph, who've just joined my Patreon at the Hytes tier. And of course, Aiden the Individual, Ace of Heichel, Ashley Brungard, Cyrus, Daniel Sandell, Sticky, Felicia, Frankie, Hector Simancas, Jeffrey Steenberg, Laura, Bissett, Louis Iredor, Mark James, Matthew Burns, Matto, Michelle, Your Pal, Panda Kitty, Sailor, Steven, Topher, Billy, and Will and Tana, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. See y'all later. Love ya. Bye.